Hello, this is Jorge Herrera, and now we're going to talk about the 100 days of government of Donald Trump. And there have been a lot of changes. Have you noticed? What happened during, let's say, well, almost all the 4 years? There were a lot of um, a lot of videos that were taken looking at all those immigrants that were invading our country. Immigrants walking through Central America, walking through Mexico, where their, uh, their target or their destination, the United States. All those videos of all those thousands of people by the border before crossing it, inside the border, where the border patrol were trying to control them, and of course offering them help. All those videos during the Biden administration. Why they couldn't stop that? Because they did not want. Couldn't Kamala, being the vice president, did or do what Donald Trump did? Couldn't Kamala do that? Yes, she could. She just didn't want to. Neither Joe Biden. Nobody in the Biden administration wanted to stop the influx of illegal immigrants. They had that goal. They wanted to change the composition of our country, of our population. They wanted to change the culture. They wanted to keep government by having millions of people that most probably would vote for them because they were receiving the benefit of being allowed to live in this country for free and receiving many benefits, money, uh, telephones, flights, relocation without any cost, permit jobs. They were also given jobs that um, most probably could have been for American citizens. So that's a big change. We don't see no more videos. No, because there is nobody to take the videos. It's not that the media is not interested anymore on showing videos of illegal immigrants crossing the border. It's because the crossing stopped because Donald Trump requested it. Donald Trump gave the order, let's close the border. Couldn't Kamala do that? Couldn't Biden do that? Yes, they could. They just didn't want to. Okay, what else? For decades, in commerce, many countries, most countries, have assessed tariffs on American goods to make it more difficult for Americans to export to those countries. And besides that, most of those countries were subsidizing their industries to export at a very reduced price so the American producer could not compete. And that was something that Trump decided to change. And he had good reasons, especially with certain countries like Mexico and Canada, because they were allowing lethal drugs to come into this country. China were sending the material, and the Mexicans were producing those fentanyl pills that are extremely lethal and have killed many Americans, many youngsters, because just one single pill of those were powerful enough to kill you. So that's another reason why Donald Trump wanted tariffs to penalize those bordering countries that were working against the American citizen goodwill. What else has happened? Well, not only the border was closed, but deportations started going on. And this is kind of controversial because there have not been too many deportations in 100 days. Joe Biden and Barack Obama deported millions of illegal aliens, but the Democrats didn't oppose, didn't say anything. But since it was Donald Trump the one doing it, then it was against the Constitution, it was illegal, it was harming all those poor immigrants. And in some cases, yes, poor immigrants. But it wasn't because of Donald Trump's policies. It was because of Biden's policies. I don't know if you remember so many immigrants that died while they were in a trailer being cooked on summer temperatures in Texas. Also, many illegal immigrants that died when they were being chased by Border Patrol when they were trying to um, to break the law by getting into the United States without any permit, being camouflaged inside inside a car, inside a van, an SUV, a truck. So all those people died not because of Donald Trump, they died because of policies of Joe Biden. How many also died in the desert because they couldn't they couldn't stand the difficulty of those trips. What about the abuse of the coyotes that they kill also and they rape um, many minors, women and men? What about the abuse of all those immigrants being um, being stored in humongous quantities in a small places, smaller houses, where they just basically could stand one on top of the other. I mean, they were the group one one against the other, hundreds of them in a single house. That wasn't because of Donald Trump. That was because Joe Biden. And what about the crime? The crime that started growing in our cities, in our states, because of all those illegal immigrants that decided to fight police In New York, there were some Venezuelans that decided to attack police. In Colorado, there were some Venezuelans that decided to take control of apartment complexes and mistreat people and commit crimes on people. Those were not Donald Trump's policies. All that happened because of Joe Biden's policies and the Democrats. So there's been a tremendous work of Donald Trump in 100 days. About 143 uh, about 143 um, mandates that he uh, created or laws uh, that he created. Well, no laws because Congress is the one that creates laws, but the president can create some. I forgot the name, some resolutions, some mandates, but you know what I'm saying. And those activist judges have made more than 70 rulings against the work of Donald Trump. That the work of Donald Trump has been legal and constitutional because that's what people elected him for. That's what people like me, an American citizen, elected Donald Trump for. To help straight up the direction that our country was taking with transgenderism, the mutilation of our kids, the, um, the damage against women with men participating in women's sports and men going into women's bathrooms, women's locker rooms. That's not acceptable. But those were the policies of the Democrats. What else has changed? What about the discontinue of DEI in businesses? Diversity, inclusion, and DEI and equity. Because the Democrats want equal results. Even if everybody starts at the same level, that they were arguing that that was part of the problem, there is not possible to get equal results because we are different, we have different skills, different capacities, different attitudes, so there's no possibility of getting equal results. There will always be unequal results based on human beings' characteristics. So that's something else that Donald Trump has changed. And we're also finishing with walk-ins. And how do you like now the work that um, Robert F. Kennedy is doing of cleaning our food, cleaning our water? Those are changes that most Americans appreciate, even the Democrats, because the food and water that they're going to consume is going to be cleaner thanks to Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy. So you can say whatever you want to say against the policies of Donald Trump, but they have been for the better. Well, thank you. I appreciate that if you took a look at this video, and please subscribe to my channels so you can hear my thoughts. I believe it makes sense what I just said. So I'll see you again and I will make more comments. So till next time, and I'll see you later. And I'll see you later.